Well, hi there, and welcome to Bella's Vistas. Now, I got a heads up that there were some owls out in the country, so we headed right out there to see what we could find. We weren't disappointed at all. Now, if you'll stick around to the end of the video, you'll see one of my collectors with his collection of my photographs of owls. He's got a lot of 24 by 36s and larger prints of my owls on his wall. Wow. This was the first sighting we had. I was delighted to find this owl. I was sitting on the mud beside the road getting these shots. The owl sees me, but they're not afraid. I don't move fast at all, and I keep my distance. You don't want to be pushing these birds. They're having a rough enough time staying alive. They've got a long way to fly. They need their energy, so they have to rest up all day. And you don't want to be disturbing them. I'm delighted. Sometimes I think about taking cases of mice out there and letting them go in the fields, but I don't think that would be appreciated. I'm delighted when I see an owl. Getting the squinty-eyed concentration here. I think the bright light bothers their eyes. Such a beautiful bird. I like the surroundings here too, the stone rubble and everything. This is what I usually see, the bird up on a pole, and they sit up there. In the daytime they're usually up on the pole, and towards night they go down to the ground usually, but you can't really count on anything. Here too I keep my distance. It looks like I'm right close on them, but I'm not. I'm getting the look here. I'm using 600mm lens, so I'm a good distance away. Wow. Sometimes I think some of these birds recognize me because they come back year after year, and so do I. I think they're one of the most wonderful creatures in the world. I really do. There's one on the wing. It's hard to catch them on the wing. And like I said, they're a long distance away, so sometimes the pictures aren't all that sharp. And on a day like this, your ISO is pushed way up, so you're lucky to get something. Usually shoot these at 1/1600th of a second, and the ISO might go as high as 3000 or higher even. So we have to use some denoising in Lightroom, and then maybe another program after that as well. This bird is so very far away. I just wish I could get closer, but I mean, you can't be trespassing on farmers' fields, and you don't want to get too close to the birds. This one up on the pole, I'm about a one pole's length away from him. I don't know how far that is, but that seems to be as close as I can get without making him too nervous. These two birds, these two males, they were a really long distance away from me. Now I see some other people off in the distance there possibly photographing them, I don't know. But this was as close as I could get without trespassing or anything. See, here you can see how far I am away. I've got the 300mm and the MC20 on there, so that's 600mm, and that's as close as I am to the bird. This is probably even cropped in a little bit. You get any closer than that, you're going to be scaring them, and you don't want to do that. Like I said, you let them be. I've heard stories of somebody pounding on a tree trying to get the owl to open its eyes, and I don't know what I would do if I was there and saw somebody doing that. I don't like to think about it. Here we dropped another sky in behind. It was just such a gray day. Driving along here, there's an owl up in the tree. Here's the backside. This is what I usually get them flying away from me. Now, the only thing about a shot of the bird from behind is once in a while you get a shot like this where it looks like the wings of an angel. My goodness, how majestic is that? There you can see me shooting off in the distance. This bird just landed there. I saw her flying in and I saw her land there. Now she's giving me the squinty-eyed concentration there. This is the first snowy owl I ever photographed, several, well, 8 or 10 years ago. This is what you can see too. They like to be along the fence line. Here's a male off in the distance. See, you can see how far he is away from me. But with the long lens, I can pull him in quite a bit. This is another one of my early shots of an owl flying and landing. Wow, I'm just delighted. Just to get to see this is amazing, but to take pictures of it is, well, it's just wonderful. The happiest days of my life are photographing wildlife on the move. Now you can see what we're up against here, the wind. I'm sitting down beside the road and the wind is blowing everything. Sometimes the wind even blows my tripod. Now one thing you can do is retract the lens hood. That makes the lens a little less susceptible to wind shake, but it's pretty tough nevertheless with high winds and blowing snow. You can see here, imagine these poor birds out, and I think this is the conditions they like. Here the sun is shining right into its eyes. You can really see the eyes lit up. Another bird far away from me here. It's getting towards evening now. It's getting dark and the wind is coming up. One thing to remember is that the birds take off into the wind. Now if you can have the wind on your back and the sun on your back as well, that's the best thing, but it doesn't often happen. I've only had it happen once or twice, but when you've got that situation, you get a really good shot. Here the sun's up my back, but the wind is not. That bird is going to take off the other way. Now this was quite an amazing sequence. I saw this bird far off in the distance. Beautiful owl, so wonderful. And I started sneaking in. Now I didn't scare this bird, but something scared it, and I didn't know what it was at first. But believe it or not, it was a coyote hunter off in the distance. He was coming up behind and he frightened the bird. And didn't the bird fly right across in front of him? I mean, that was just amazing. Some detail shots on the wing and everything here. There's the hunter. Wow. Unfortunately, my camera must have focused more on the hunter than on the bird. And here, owl is landing in the field. This is a male downy landing in the field. Here's a female up on a post with the sun shining right in her one eye, getting ready to take off here. There was a bunch of people here when I was taking that shot, so it's debatable who got too close and frightened it away, but I know it wasn't me. Look at that. And I believe that's the natural sky. There you can see the sun in the eye. This is from the sequence where the bird took off into the wind and into the sun. That's my best flying shot that I have as far as I know. I really think it is. These shots are nice. I kind of wish it was an old tree or something instead of a telephone pole, but you know, what can you do? You can only shoot what you can get. So I get out there a lot. I find they're all lucky shots, and the more time I spend out in the field, the luckier I get. So some days I'll be out for the entire day. Here the light is on the eye and the bird is sharp as a tack too. Here I'm on Amherst Island. We're in the van. Now it gets really cold here. You get minus 25, and here I'm trudging through some pretty deep snow, getting over by the fence so I can get the light on the owl here. Get some decent shots. I froze my hands pretty good on this trip. I actually got frostbitten fingers, and I burned myself on the propane heater in the van because I didn't have any touch, but it got better. There's the owl on top of a tree there, trudging through the ice and snow to get close there. You can see the thermal plants off in the distance there. With all the wind turbines here, you'd be surprised they still need thermal plants, but they do. Wow, I'm getting the look here. That's a female snowy up in the tree. Sun's getting a bit short, getting towards sunset now. And it's gone. Because like I said, towards evening they fly down and stay in the field from what I've seen. This looks like a jet plane to me, like a flying wing or something. There's the eyes. Look at those eyes, my goodness. And the beak is kind of hidden away. Now these are the short-eared owls, and I really enjoy photographing them too. They're a mile away. I mean, they're really, really far away, but I did get some nice shots. Here's a barn owl flying into the camera here. Another snowy, really, really close up. Terry, what do you think of this one, huh?
Oh, that's beautiful.
I think that's going to look really good on the wall.
That is awesome.
The blue eyes, apparently there's some kind of membrane over the eyes that's reflecting light from the sky. I'm not sure about it, but I'm really, really happy with it.
It's amazing.
My best picture maybe ever.
Ever? Well, not ever.
Terry really enjoys my owl photographs. He said everybody just loves to come in and see them. He put in special lighting in the living room for them. Wowee. Snowies, I think, are my favorite, but I like all the owls. This is a composite shot of the moon behind the owl, but they were both taken within 5 feet of each other. Here's some of my other photographs. You can see the mitten in the back there in Monument Valley. Thanks for visiting Bella's Vistas. Please like, subscribe, come on back again real soon.